You know what it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
You know who it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Odie, Maurice, Odie, Maurice.
Maurice, Odie, Maurice, Odie.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Hey, oh.
Yes, no.
Are you ready?
Let's go.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy. It's the Black and Snurdy podcast with Odie and Maurice.
Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. We are here again for another episode of the Black and Sturdy Podcast. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Maurice, and this is
Odie.
And together, we are two black sexy nerds. We come here every week to give you the news that you could use to just talk and bitch about whatever the fuck we want. And we can do whatever we want because we are black and snurdy. How are you doing?
I'm doing.
You're not on microphone.
I am now.
So much better. So much better.
I'm doing good, doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing so much better now.
Good.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. And shout out to my friend who is texting me, even though I told you that I'm doing a podcast right now. You should be asleep right now. You told me you were going to sleep at 8. It is now 8 o'clock. Why are you still texting me about your, it looks like the live has paused.
Oh man.
While you do that, also, when you, could you hand me the TV remote? So I would need that.
Why is it? It doesn't say it's paused on here.
Oh, okay. Well,
Back up?
it looks like it's back up now. Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's fine. It is what it is. Hopefully our listeners can give us donations, get us more listeners and stuff so that we can upgrade our equipment.
Yes, all those things. And what else? Oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm coming over.
Yes.
I'm back.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Woohoo!
So, what brings us here today? What brings us here to another episode of the Black and Nerdy Podcast? We're friends. We check in with each other. We, dish. It's, if you haven't listened before, if this is your first podcast of the Black and Nerdy Podcast, we're two friends who went to Howard together, didn't know each other at Howard, but it didn't stop us from becoming friends. And we basically, it's a lot like talking, overhearing a conversation at your hair salon or your barbershop, you know? You what? Yeah, at a hair salon. What other type of salon is there other than the website?
Nah, never mind. I was making
Oh, you were attempting to make a joke?
I wasn't attempting to make a joke.
Oh,
I decided
good,
not
because,
to make a joke.
because if you did, it did not land.
Okay. All right, Mr. Funny Bones.
Yes, I am. Anyhow.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Sure. What's the question?
Is
this one of the questions that we usually open with?
Okay,
or
fine,
is it...
Fine.
Is this just a random question that you decided to ask me in the... It's okay. Look, listen. Look, sometimes in the realm of a little peek behind the curtain of, production, sometimes, there's a rush to get to the time that you've set for yourself. And other times, when you're ready, you stay ready. I don't know.
What? You know what? You're irksome.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm a wonderful, delightful human being.
I beg to differ.
Well, you can beg these. So what is the question?
You know what?
Beg these. Look at you all flustered.
Shut up.
She's over here flustered, gang.
Who
She's over here
has
flustered.
the greatest singing voice of all time?
Oh my goodness, Whitney Houston. No question about it.
Man, this is a difficult one for me, actually.
I think Whitney Houston had a powerful voice.
No, she did.
If not her, then what? You think Mariah Carey?
So these are people that it's hard for me to pick just one. Mm-hmm. I would say, if I was choosing,
it would have, like, in the pool of people, it would have to be Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey,
Yes.
Michael Jackson.
Ooh, he did have a powerful voice.
Prince, because he got those high notes.
He has range for
just
days.
all over.
Yes.
But then I'm thinking about, like, you know how much, like, I love Otis Redding.
I do know that.
So
in fact, I put that in a notepad recently, called Odie Facts. Because my memory is not the greatest, so I started a little fact list of all the things that I know about you.
I appreciate that.
Guess how many facts are in that list?
100.
No.
1.
Yes, exactly 1, and it was Otis Redding. All it says is Otis Redding. It has no context for it or anything. I didn't write any other information down, so all it says is Otis Redding. And I'm like, okay, she must really like Otis Redding.
Damn, this is a hard one. I'm gonna forfeit. I can't pick one.
Okay.
Because there's two. Because I'm thinking of, like, if I think about from, like, jazz musicians, then I would say Billie Holiday. But then if I'm thinking about, like, what about Aretha Franklin, Shaka Khan, like,
I don't know about Shaka.
Well, okay, we're not talking about present day versus Shaka Khan. We're not talking
about, like, I hope she's okay at the picnic.
No, we're talking about full force. She's drinking water, meditating,
hydrated,
and all that.
Back in her prime. And
even just 5 years ago when she was doing very well. I don't, the verses obviously was not her best moment, but
no, it wasn't.
Just like,
no, it wasn't.
There's just Phyllis Hyman. So, like, she was in a singer who unfortunately unalived herself in the late 80s, early 90s.
Is that what we refer to it as?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah. For reasons of, like, the community, we can't say that. We might get kicked off of Instagram Live.
We might.
Now that it's owned by fucking what have they been calling him on what have they been calling him on Twitter?
I don't know. I haven't seen
shit. They've been calling him something, and it made me laugh earlier today.
He doesn't own Twitter and Instagram.
I thought Twitter owned Instagram.
No, Zuckerberg
owns
Instagram.
Facebook owns Instagram. Okay, well,
but it's still very annoying.
Fucking robot.
Still
Who cares?
Annoying. But I mean, then I think about Beyonce, Adele, Jasmine Sullivan.
I don't know if Beyonce has the range.
Excuse me.
As like Mariah Carey.
Excuse me.
Or Whitney Houston.
Have you not heard Beyonce sing? Live?
Yes, I know that. Oh, yes, I've heard Love on Top.
I've heard her. Have you not heard the registers?
She can't get as high up as Mariah Carey.
Okay, but not a lot of people can.
That's what I'm saying.
But that doesn't mean
what is the question?
That doesn't mean that Beyonce is not one of the greatest singers of all time.
That's not the question at all.
Jasmine Sullivan has a very beautiful voice.
Is the
She's
question
not going to
who's
get
the
up
greatest artist of all fucking time?
I'm just saying you cannot discount somebody because if they have a beautiful, powerful voice,
fine,
that can sing pretty much any song.
I would put her in A tier. I wouldn't put her in S tier. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Fine.
Jesus.
We have a pool of people. Can you please, listeners, can you give us some...
listeners, reach out to us. Tell us who is right. And
reach out and touch somebody's hand. Make this
I know who's not A or S tier.
You just make me want to be violent.
Well, you make me hungry for pasta. I don't know.
There's still someone there.
Yes,
okay,
I know.
Second question. We're moving on.
Yeah, moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Oh, moving on up to the east side. We finally got a piece of the pie.
All right. I promise you all that we've only had one.
I haven't even had anything
beverage.
to drink. I haven't had a sip of this. Like, normally I would be in my cups. But right now, I am simply just trying to get everything set up over here. and make sure that everything is functioning properly.
Can I say that I want people to start saying "in my cups" more versus like drunk or inebriated?
Yeah, I like
I'm in
that.
my cups.
I like that saying. Where did I wonder where I heard that.
I
First.
feel like we've heard it recently on Game of Thrones, or
Right.
House of the Dragons, or House of Dragons,
House
whatever the fuck it's
of-
called. Incestuous USA.
HOD. HOD. That's what I'm calling it.
I love
HOD.
my cousin's D is what it should be called.
Oh my god.
That one was
If you
good.
had not said
That one was good. I thought that
that's
was
fine.
Good. It was good.
It was fine.
It was good. It was timely. It was poignant, and it made sense.
It was better than good. It was serviceable. How about that? That's
Okay.
as good as I'm ever gonna get it.
Fine.
Happy?
What book would you most like to share with your family?
Who moved my cheese?
You
'Cause it's all
always
up-
say that book.
That's because it's one of my favorite. It's most all right, fine. The 5 People You Meet After You Die. I know that's not the exact
I've not
name,
read that book before.
but it was actually one of the first like grown up. I call it grown up books. It was one of the first grown up books that I ever read. And it was essentially, just like the message being that throughout your life, you have, positive, negative impacts on like all sorts of people. Mm-hmm. People who are directly in your line of eyesight, people who, you may not even realize. Mm-hmm. So just to be mindful of that, and, I'm frustrated right now.
Why? Why are you frustrated? Because you're getting messages?
No, it has nothing to do with the messages. It has everything to do with the setup right now.
What's wrong with the setup?
No, it's just like I would like in my eye line to be able to have some wrestling on. So I can stay up to date.
You could put it on if you wanted to. You
I
don't have to put
can't.
it
For some reason for the listeners right
Oh, it
now.
says oops.
Yeah, for the listeners right now, there seems to be some sort of technical difficulties
I'm also
going on.
having technical difficulties. My computer won't let me get any of the articles up because it says the clocks. It's fucking on December 31st, 2018.
So then maybe this is an episode where we just fuck around. How about that?
well,
you
we can still talk about the stuff.
I know there are a few things that we could talk about.
There's still things we could talk about because I still know that I have the understanding of all the different stuff.
Yes.
But I like to have like quotes and shit,
Yeah.
real journalistic like.
Yeah, of course. You of the two of us, you are the journalist.
So we're just gonna be going off the cuff,
Yes.
which
All right.
is like
And you can't sue us for going off the look.
we're having technical difficulties.
Consider this to be like a
Halfway shoot the shit, but
A-
also sourceless podcast.
a warning. This is a warning. This is just for entertainment purposes only. This
Yes.
is not to be taken
Yes.
as liable. You're not supposed to be taking this as serious or anything like that. This is literally just two motherfuckers who are cool with each other, just talking about some bullshit that happened over the week.
And also, I just want to say, regardless of what we say, even when we have articles, you should be looking it up yourself from verified,
Do your own due
credible
diligence.
sources.
Do
okay?
your own due diligence.
A .com, not a .net, maybe a .org, depending. But just make sure, like,
Yeah, because it's NPR.org or is it .com?
oh, is it? Is it? In it?
Isn't it?
I don't know.
Have you been watching Top Boy?
Okay, this
Here's
is the
a
thing.
quick anecdote. Sorry, I keep cutting you off.
I like Top Boy.
Yes.
However, the same way that The Wire is difficult for me to watch because
Yeah.
of how dark it is and there never seems to be a glimpse of joy, that's what makes it difficult for me to watch Top Boy.
Really?
I think they're both splendid shows. Very, very well written. Very well acted. My boo, Damson Idris. Isn't he from Top Boy?
No, he's not.
He was never in Top Boy?
He was in Snowfall.
Are
I
you
think you're getting him mixed up with the guy from Snowfall.
That's probably another though Snowfall's another reason why I can't watch that one is also the darkness.
Yeah.
I love Black British TV, and Black British actors. It's too dark. It makes me feel sad because I just feel like anytime those people find joy, it's sucked away.
I mean, isn't that most of Harry Potter too?
I mean, yeah, but there's still whimsy. There's fairies and shit.
He puts a wand up the troll's nose.
There's whimsy.
With the worst CGI in the world.
Well, it got better over the years.
Yeah, yes, it did. The CGI.
By the time the last book came out.
Oh my God, Professor Lupin, you're a wolf.
All right, wait. I didn't get to give my book.
No, you didn't.
So, what would you most likely share with your family? Okay, so people would probably say, "I know it's going to be Harry Potter." You're wrong. It would be the Children of Blood and Bone series by Tomi Adeyemi because it's full of beautiful black people based in Nigeria.
Of course, it's in Nigeria.
It's based off the Orishas, which
I don't. So tell me.
The Orishas, so Ifa is the religion, it's Yoruba religion. Igbos practice Alusi, but Alusi is much harder to find. But Ifa is a religion.
It's elusive.
Fine. Fine. You can have it. You can have it.
Yeah.
But Ifa,
structurally, that was really good.
It was very good. It's Ifa, then the Orisha are deities. And so in this book, it's talking about how, like, the land is called Orisha. However, it's in, like, if you looked at the map of Nigeria, a lot of the places that she's talking about, she still uses the names of places in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Basically, the Orisha, the magic has left the area, the country of Orisha, and this young girl basically is on a quest to find the magic and bring it back. So it talks about all the different Orisha. You learn about, like, the history and the different things about it, which is, like, the first time I've ever seen the Orisha in a fictional sense where it wasn't, like, kind of stupid and a bunch of, like, oh, this is voodoo black magic. It was very well done. She's a lovely young Nigerian American woman. I've met her at a book signing for the second book.
The author, not the main character.
The main character. She's beautiful. She has gray braids or locks. I love that. And it's a beautiful story. Okay. And anytime someone's going to talk about my culture and do it justice is a thing that I want to read and pay attention to. And I think that we need more speculative fiction where black girls, black women are the protagonists, and we have a variety of just things to talk about.
Shout out to Rashad! Boom! I see you out here. That's what's up.
Yeah, that would be a book. The Children of Blood and Bone series. She also there's a movie coming out. There's a third book and then a movie. It's got one of the, like, largest, I remember when it came out, it was, like, one of the largest, like, amounts paid for a series. Yeah. And so if we could get Turfy rolling out and Tomi Adeyemi in, I personally, that's a quick little boop out.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think any forwarding of any new, like, sci-fi or fantasy that we could, like, produce and put into, especially if it's black sci-fi, it's black fantasy, make that into a new blockbuster series. Yes. Get somebody in there who knows how to actually tell a fucking story, make it a trilogy, get some big ass bucks, get some black people in the production and in the writer's room and in the in all aspects of it, so that we can get paid and show that we support our own.
Exactly. And I feel like Children of Blood and Bone has the capabilities of being what Harry Potter is to millennials for the Gen Z Alpha generation.
For the TikTok generation.
Yeah. So those are the two questions. So we can before we get into the main part of the podcast, that each week it's kind of, we
might have to, I will say this, we might have to space these out of some.
We can't space them out when these big, unfortunately,
might have to do like a once a month thing because
people are dying. We can't help it.
I know
people die every day,
I'm well aware that people are dying. My thing is this, like, it just seems like every single fucking
Unfortunately, it is true.
And I know it is unfortunate that this week is.
I mean, it just happened, and
also,
there's nothing we can do
yet
about
another
it.
Instance of another senseless murder Because that's what it was.
And
senseless
also
act of
just
murder that
people
just fucking happened.
Die every day through whether it is.
Motherfucker, did you just pop in here just to get your hellos and then leave?
Can you stay focused?
Okay, I guess
We're
I will.
Going into a somber moment.
You're absolutely right. Sorry.
No joking and laughs.
I'm not.
Okay. Can you do that? Can we have one time?
Can I? No. All right. You know what? This is a respectful moment. This is, of course, our rest in power section.
Yes. Where we're giving honor to those who have recently become ancestors. And it's always a somber moment, as well as, in a way, a joyful moment, because even though they are gone, they are definitely not forgotten. And they are now here to look over us and help us as we go through our daily lives.
Mm-hmm.
So first, Calvin Butts, who was a pastor, he was one of the major guest pastors at Howard. He used to be there a lot, and just seeing a lot of memorials from him this week from people on campus. And I mean, he was an older man. But it's always sad, even if someone's 109, yes. you're never going to be okay with them not being here. So we, of course, send our love to his family, his mm-hmm. parishioners, all those who knew him. And also we're sending a rest in power, of course, to Takeoff from the Migos. I think this was such an unexpected, senseless death. Mm-hmm. That did not need to happen. And, even right now, Quavo's assistant, who was also shot in Houston during this incident, he's fighting. He did not pass, but he's been in the hospital.
He's on, life support.
And, it's just, I wish we could get to a place, we cannot blame music for this, not to say that there are not some things that we could change about the music industry. Mm-hmm. But this is not about music or entertainment or anything. It's about people having guns and thinking that they need guns, when in reality, if you have a problem with someone, you guys should just fight. You just have a one-on-one fight. But the first thing that comes to people's minds now is just I'm just going to shoot.
And he was a bystander in all of this, by all accounts. Every account that I've read shows that it was a stray, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a stray bullet.
There was an argument, and even Quavo was trying to walk away and just be okay, whatever, you guys got it. And then next thing you know, this person deciding they're going to be a big man is shooting all over the place. And unfortunately, Takeoff was shot twice. And it's just very sad. It's tragic for a lot of ways. One, he was only 28 years old.
Only 28. He
was just talking about getting his flowers and wanting to have longevity in the industry and people to always, remember him and his music. And just the fact that Quavo had to watch his best friend, his bandmate, his nephew be murdered right in front of him. And I don't think that's a trauma that I wouldn't wish on even my worst enemy. So we're sending so much love to the Migos, to their family, their friends, and everyone that knew them, because this is just it's something like a death when someone's sick or, when they're old or something. It's something that you can almost kind of prepare for, but this is something that nobody would think, I'm bowling with my friends and shooting dice, and then the next morning they're not going to be there.
My hope is that this is enough to mend whatever rift exists with the remaining members of the Migos, Offset and Quavo.
Yeah.
I hope that, obviously, nobody wants this to be the reason why people come together. But
it's if it's a catalyst, then it's
a catalyst for change and reconciliation, then all the more better. And I'm not even talking about on a music front. I just mean as family, because they were all family.
I do feel very sad for Offset that they were beefing at the time of his death, and who knows how where they were in reconciliation and all that. Because I think to lose a family member and a friend is hard enough without thinking about, damn, when's the last time we spoke?
Yeah.
You know, and I think about that sometimes when like people in my family have passed. Even though we may have been on good terms, I'll be like, wow, I should have called them more and spent more time with them. And I think that's something that if we were on bad terms, it would have been even more heart-wrenching.
Yes.
So just hold each other close. And just thinking about DeVito, the Afrobeats artist.
Yes.
His 3-year-old son just turned 3, like October 20th. A week later, in the pool, he ran off into the pool. Nobody noticed him. He ends up dying, and it's like just 3 years old. That's the family's worst nightmare. So everyone.
Thoughts and prayers, rest in power to everybody's family, everybody who had been affected by these passings.
And just love up on one another.
Yeah, love up on people while they are still here. Give people their flowers while they're still here.
Because you never know.
Because you never know what's gonna happen.
So that's it. But thank you all for honoring the ancestors with us. And now we can jump into our regularly scheduled programming. Pop. Okay.
All right. This is our pop culture segment where we go through the fuckery of the week. We go through, sometimes it's good fuckery, sometimes it's just standard boilerplate bullshit. But we're here together to talk about it and to get our thoughts and opinions on it.
Okay, so number 1, Nick Cannon is adding on to his basketball team.
Baby number 11.
12.
Right? 12? Oh,
12.
Damn. God
Yeah.
damn. Okay.
12.
We, on this podcast, have talked about Nick Cannon's various
He's
baby
very potent.
pop. He's
very potent.
He's very potent. I wonder at this point, is it that he's actively trying to have more and more kids?
Do you remember?
Is he trying to do? I wonder. I have a theory. I have my theory is that Nick Cannon. He's the only Cannon in Hollywood right now. He looks around, he sees all these fucking families, the fucking Baldwins, the fucking Skarsgards. He sees the Wans, even there's supposed to be a new show with Damon Wayans and Damon Wayans Jr.
Yeah.
I'm
actually gonna watch it.
Maybe he's looking around and he's like, you know what? There needs to be a new black family of entertainment, and it's gonna be a bunch of cannons running around. They're gonna have their own reality show, keeping up with the cannons. The Cannons.
Oh God.
Remember that DJ tag?
Yeah.
Like the Cannon.
You know what it makes me think of? Like, remember that episode of The Cosby Show where all the men were getting pregnant because when they would kiss their wives?
This is The Cosby Show?
Yeah, Bill was pregnant. Theo got pregnant. It was like a dream sequence.
Why?
Theo was pregnant.
The clues were all there. The clues were there that he was a fucking creep this entire time. He put it in the show. I've said it multiple times, that barbecue sauce episode. I said that years before he mentioned it in the documentary. Yeah. I'm just like, why is there an episode
you were a trailblazer in
where
that.
he's drugging people in the barbecue sauce episode?
But that's what it makes me. I don't want Nick Cannon to sneeze near me. Mm-hmm. On the off chance that somehow his little cannons are gonna get me pregnant.
I just bummed myself off because I was gonna yell as an ad lib off chance, but that kind of bummed me out. Doing Migos ad lib seems in poor taste right now. But it's okay.
The memory lives on.
The memory of Takeoff lives on. So
I just feel like,
maybe that'll be the episode title. Ad libs in heaven. And will I remember it? That's the big question.
That is a big question because you said that last week and you did not.
And I don't have a pen.
You use a little marker.
I hate the sound that makes on regular paper.
Really?
Yeah.
It makes a difference.
You did that the other day, writing the USPS note.
And it was killing you?
And it was like nails on a chalkboard.
I will keep that in mind.
Okay.
So I can do it while you're sleeping.
I know. You're a fucking terrorist. And
you'll be taking a nap.
I don't trust you. Ah! That and needles irritate the shit out of me.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. I'm tracking that away in my little fact sheet. Okay, what was I saying? Anyway.
Shout out to Kirsten! Kirsten Kutchin. I hope I said that right.
I think so.
Oh, you're not even on here anymore? Either
Well,
way.
They were here for a second.
They were here for a second. You got a fucking shout out. I wonder if this is the Kirsten that I know.
Can you pay attention?
No, I obviously can't. We're ad-libbing at this point. Like,
We are not. I'm discussing this topic.
Okay, my bad. Sorry.
Thank you.
Not really. But yeah, you were saying.
Do you remember that a few weeks back when we were talking about one of Nick Cannon's other children?
Yes.
Where that woman on Twitter was talking about that Nick Cannon was just having babies to get their spinal cord blood. Or not spinal cord, their
stem cells?
The stem cells. Mm-hmm. But now I'm starting to think maybe she might have had a good conspiracy theory.
No, he's gonna line all of his children up into a circle. They're gonna do like a wolf pack, sort of like cut their palms, dip the blood into like a pool, and he's gonna bathe into it.
It makes me think of
because Nick Cannon looks pretty good for his age.
But what's the
Black
thing?
on crack.
What was the movie, the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, where Chris Pratt finds his father and his father's an evil man?
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yes. Maybe it's one of those situations.
Maybe he's looking for the eternal youth so that he can download his consciousness into one of his children.
It's like, okay, have you ever seen that movie Never Let Me Go?
No, I've never seen this movie.
Okay, well, it was from a book that came out. I don't remember when the book came out. The movie came out when we were in college.
Never Let Me Go?
Never Let Me Go. It was starring, that white actress who's American, but she always plays British. Fuck. Can't remember her name. Also Spider-Man.
You are the lady from Abbott Elementary. Ooh, that's one young actor.
But there's Andrew Garfield's in it, and another actress. Oh my god! But basically, the premise is
none of this is helpful.
Well, whatever. You guys will know what I'm talking about. The premise is it's a dystopian society where they created. They I don't know if they were clones, but they made children and were raising them like healthy children, kind of like the movie The Island, where they were harvesting their bodies.
Harvesting organs.
Yes, and so maybe it's one of those sort of situations, like a Never Let Me Go situation.
Yeah, when he's gonna party. Well, clearly he's partying hard right now because
he's having all these babies.
He's having all these fucking babies. You know what I mean? What? At a certain point, the women have to know that he's super spermified and spermed up, right?
No, all of these women who are having these babies are very well aware that he is potent.
All this tells me is that he doesn't plan on retiring anytime soon.
I mean, he has
from fucking and from entertainment.
He has Nickelodeon money. Does he have any Disney money? Has he been in any Disney movies ever or TV shows?
What Nickelodeon money? The Nick
Cannon
Cannon
show? And he was on.
When was the last time you saw anybody bumping the Nick Cannon?
Probably has more
I've
from
seen
that.
more people singing Taina than
Taina. I can't wait to see my name in lights. No one's gonna stop me. You'll see, I will go far. Taina. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So. He has money. He got drumline money.
He has because that show's always on.
That's
BET.
always on. He has the money. He's
on America's Got Talent.
Well, no, not anymore. Because remember he said that. I think he said something that was.
Wait, no, he's on something.
He's on a bunch of things.
He's got Wildin' Out, obviously.
The one. I think he's on the one with the Masked Singer.
Oh, that's him. He is on Masked Singer. Yeah, he is on.
He's on a lot of shows, so he has money. He's raking it in. Mm-hmm.
But
I just feel like these women just don't care about how many kids he has. They don't care about their pH balance or HPV. And they're just like, shoot the club up, my friend.
I will say this. He's probably got a clean dick. Because damn well we would have heard something by now if...
Do you think so? I don't... Hey.
We would have heard that it would have been baby mama number 13 with baby number 27... got HPV from NIC.
But the thing is, like,
Okay.
HPV is one of those things that you could get from various things. So what if they don't know? It's
You heard it
necessarily
first.
from him.
Odie said you can get HPV from toilet seats.
I never
Let that
said
be.
that.
Yeah,
I
this is
never-
now the Joe Rogan
I never
podcast. We
said
are giving out misinformation. No warning on the
said that.
podcast. Just a bunch of bullshit.
Because the thing is that men can't be tested for HPV. And if they can, no doctor does it. So,
Word?
yeah. That's why they're carriers of it.
Why am I giving so much blood to my doctors?
They
Why
test
my
you for
doctors-
other stuff, but they just don't test for
my
HPV because
doctor,
doctors
behind the bowling
hate
alley?
with people with uteruses. And because HPV only really affects people with uteruses because it gives them uterine cancer, possibly, then it was like, why should we make a test that's going to ensure that someone's not going to be passing this shit around? You know? Why don't we just clip women's wombs and other people's wombs and just test them when they have an abnormal pap smear? These are the things that happen when you people, like, HPV is terrible, but if these women don't have it, I hope so, because they're sharing all the dick. And the thing is, they're not even, maybe are they only having sex with him? Remember that thing they used to tell us? Well, I don't know if they told you guys this, but I remember always hearing they're like, if you have sex with one person, you're having sex with every single person they have sex with. And now that is a stupid, false,
Well, yeah, I'm
stupid thing to
bi,
say.
so that sounds fucking sexy as shit.
But like,
It's like, I'm just like, I don't need to know how many people you've had sex with. I just need to know how many people were attractive. Please let me know.
I mean, if you fucked at your sober, please.
Yes.
Let me
please.
have some of that.
Then from the trends of the property, Idris Elba got all up in my guts too.
But hey, do what you want to do, have all the children you want to have, you can afford them, but I just feel like it's not just money that raises a child. It's time, it's emotional labor, and also, do these children all know each other? Does Mariah want her children to be spending time with his other 10 children? Who knows? And I think it's very important that parents to ensure that their children, regardless of how many partners they have or children's parents they have, that they ensure that their children all know, love, and respect one another. Because to me, like, that was always very important. I would say to, like, my mom and stepmom and my dad, like, all of them were very clear that, like, my siblings would know each other, love each other. Like, they call each other siblings, and that was not ever something that, like, I told them to do. And so I feel like it is imperative for parents to, like, make sure that their children are emotionally taken care of when they're in a blended family, because that is a very precarious situation. And I'm curious how you can do that when you have 12 different households. Or maybe he has like maybe 6 or 7 different households, because some of them have like multiples. But it's too many. That's too many people to be sharing fatherly time with. You don't all live together. You're not living on a compound. Mariah's not sending her children to a compound. I know that much.
I just had a thought.
What was it?
What if all of this is because Nick Cannon is a really big fan of Game of Thrones?
Why would that be a case?
Well, who's gonna take over the Cannon kingdom?
Okay.
Once it's all done, who is next in line? Who is the legitimate heir to the Cannon throne?
We're moving along. Okay. So Drake has a new album.
Yes.
I have not
Drake
listened to
with 21 Savage. Her Loss.
That's what it's called. Her Loss.
Yes.
Okay. I did
It's
see
an
pictures of
EP.
it. Is it so both? It's like a dual album.
No, it's an EP. That means that it's technically shorter than a full length album.
Oh, okay. But he and 21 Savage have like the same amount of songs, or they're on every song together?
They're on most songs together.
Okay. So on this song, for whatever reason, he decided he wanted to call out Meg Thee Stallion and Serena Williams, who he kind of. They were going out a little bit. They were going on some dates. They were going on some dates for a while. They dated a little bit, but it didn't turn into anything serious. Mm-hmm. This was maybe like when we were in college, because I remember seeing pictures of them together. Drake called Serena's husband, Alexis Ohanian, a groupie, which Alexis was like, I love fucking watching my wife be a badass, so you're lost, my dude. Stay over there. Mm-hmm. And then he decided to say, make us a call out to Meg Thee Stallion, saying something to the effect of she's lying about the shots, but she's still smiling though. And I was just very confused as to why he would be making jokes about this black woman being shot. Is Tory Lane sucking your dick or something? Like, why are we caping for him? It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
The line is, this bitch lie about getting shot, but she's still a stallion. Shorty say she graduated. She ain't learned enough. Play your album track 1K. I heard enough.
Well, sir, I've heard enough. And I don't want to listen to this stupid-ass album. Okay? I don't want to hear you or 21 Savage doing anything. So
I just think that we're in a weird period where, and I'll always remember this. I'll always remember where I was when Pusha T bullied this man into being an actual father. He has all this smoke for all these women, but he has no smoke for the actual dude who literally showed that Drake had blackface at one point in his career. Like, put on blackface and did this, like on some bamboozle shit. Has nothing for him. Has no disses, no nothing, because Pusha T beat the shit out of him on lyrics. But he has something to say about Meg, or he has something to say about Serena.
he also said
That's
something
weird.
about that I do not know this artist. I know of her because I've heard like a snippet of a song, and Lil Nas X was her for Halloween, but I think her name is Ice Spice.
Ice Spice.
He said something negative about her too, and it's just like, why are you trying to come for? Like, are you oh fuck, what are you, like an incel daddy? What is going on?
I think his cornrows are too tight. The blood circulation is not flowing correctly.
Okay, that makes sense.
In his pen,
That makes sense.
So therefore, in his pen and in his pen writing fingers, and I think now he think that he's one of the sisters that could just like throw all this shade to other women, which is, dude,
it's weird.
It is weird.
You're a grown ass man.
Yeah,
you're close
almost
to 40.
40.
You're almost 40, sir.
Yes.
Like, taking shots at Megan. Like, if he was saying like, oh, I feel like I saw somebody saying, oh, what if he's talking about she just got body shots? Okay, but he could say that in another way. He could say she said she doesn't have her body done, but she's lying. Like, that would have been the same thing. No, he said she's lying about being shot, which is something that has been clearly a target against Megan since that little troll doll shot her. What was that, 2-3 years ago now?
Damn.
Like, Tory Lanez is not the person you need to be caping for. Right now, that stupid little boy is at home in house arrest for assaulting August Alsina because he was so unnerved because the dude didn't want to dap him up after Tory Lanez was talking shit about him.
I wouldn't want to dap Tory Lanez up.
His hands are probably sticky.
Yeah, he what was that series that he was doing on Instagram before all this happened?
The one where he would have women
COVID
like
Chronicles or some shit like that, or COVID Cuties, whatever it's called.
No, that was mine.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. My apologies. Sorry. Trademark. Was it trademark?
Oh.
You gotta have to trademark that. Oh, shout out to
Julian!
Easy Julian. You're not here anymore. Look, if you're gonna pop in, shout out, say hi, we'll wave at you or whatever the fuck it is. But like, come on, stay a little bit. Like, don't.
We miss you. We miss the people.
We miss the people.
We want you to be here.
We're on these long ass rants. I'm not looking down.
You know what's happening?
What?
When they're going into Instagram, you know how that Instagram always pops up like someone's having live when you're trying to check your notifications?
Yeah, you're trying to check
they're
your
clicking in and they're like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
I mean, I do the same thing. I don't want to watch anyone's live for the most part. Like,
yeah.
Unless it's like they're doing something.
Unless they're doing something entertaining instead of just
just
looking at the thing like this. Look at my double chins. I'm at the club. Hey, I'm sipping on. I have hookah. Look at me. Hookah.
Is that what people do on your timeline when you click on this?
Yeah, but I follow a bunch of bad bitches.
All right.
They can get away with it because because of the rest of the content. And I am a strong supporter of content creators. Yes, I am.
Yep.
Yes. All right,
So,
what's next?
Okay, now this is disappointing.
Yeah.
Rihanna is having a Savage Fenty event, which I was very excited about because I know several people who are going to be in that. Winston Duke, I believe maybe Ciara might be in there, and just like tons of other popular artists that
Funky, fresh.
we love to see. But then yesterday or the day before, I saw that for whatever reason, Johnny Depp. Why? What demographic is Johnny Depp appealing to? If you wanted to get an old white guy, I could have picked other ones. Bruce Willis was right there. I would have picked Bruce Willis to do it.
But to be fair, he would be so confused as to whatever is happening.
Because he only has aphasia. He does not have dementia. He can't necessarily talk, but he and he can't always like speak.
Could you
well,
imagine
but he would be able
his
to
ass out
he's
there
no,
in
he's
some
not
sexy
no,
ass underwear?
he is not. I just literally his wife put up a video of him during the summer. He's walking around, picking up his grandkids, running around. His physical form is fine. He just has aphasia and is not able to remember the words to things as clearly or to speak as clearly. But he could walk a runway. He doesn't have to say anything to do that. But look, think of how many older white actors can you think of besides Bruce Willis that would have been perfect for this? I could name it.
Now all I can think of is Tom Hanks and Savage.
Listen,
Fenty.
I would take Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is a little
First
theory.
off, none of these niggas have asses.
What does it matter? Johnny Depp doesn't have
Johnny
anything.
Depp does
First of all,
not
have you
have an
seen his
ass.
face recently?
Yeah, he
It's melting.
he looks like a scarecrow.
He does.
He looks
does.
like a scarecrow made out of wax that is literally basting in the sun.
There's just, and I don't know if this was this is this one of those things where somebody was just like, hey, we're gonna hire this person, and Rihanna didn't think about it. She didn't. Maybe she's not looking at the news. Who
Yeah,
knows?
I think maybe this is somebody in her camp. You know, like she's
But
not
the thing
running
is-
all of the operations. She's like high up at the top. She's not like.
But remember before Renaissance came out, where it was found out that Beyonce was doing background checks?
Is there even a possibility of remembering before Renaissance came out?
I mean, no, because it's amazing. But but remember, like Beyonce was literally fact checking the people before they came onto the album.
Yes, that is right.
To make sure there was nothing that would have taken. The thing is, it doesn't matter that you're the head. You're not necessarily doing all those little nitty gritty.
Yes.
However,
You're not on the front lines.
Anything that's going to take away from the show, from the production, that needs to be mitigated and like removed.
Yes.
And this is someone like Johnny Depp is not even like right now in the cultural zeitgeist outside of incels and pick-me's that care about seeing him. And there's so many other people. Chris Hemsworth. Right there.
There's like 1,000
so
Skarsgårds.
So many.
So many fucking. You could have got Bill Skarsgård.
I would have even Peter Sarsgaard, and he's not even like the cutest one.
Bill is the worst looking one of them all.
Okay, we didn't have to say that.
Sorry, he's he's from
He's
It.
No. Peter is the eldest brother.
Then who was in It?
That's I think Bill
I thought that
or
was.
something.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
I
Bill.
said Peter,
And I'm talking about Bill.
but okay, we're not getting into this. Either
I was talking
Sarsgaard,
about Bill.
we could have had a Sarsgaard, a Hemsworth, a Baldwin. There's a list of myriad of actors.
Yeah.
Except for someone who is just literally has gone on trial
Fresh
for
off of a
being
case.
a domestic abuser. Because remember when I think it was Drea Michelle, or maybe it was another like influencer who had said something about domestic violence victims. She was cut from Savage Fenty about that, and so I'm like, why would you let this woman get away? Cut this woman, which was I felt like you can't talk about domestic abusers or victims in a way that's disparaging. And get away with it. So I'm like, fine. But this person was actually on trial. And it's never been, none of the things that he supposedly did were unverified. It was just that it was whatever she was suing about was not like, they couldn't find the evidence for that. But he admitted to plenty of the things. So it's disappointing because Rihanna, obviously, we love our Bayesian queen.
Yes.
We've supported her through the different trials and tribulations.
Yes.
Maybe she's just too
Removed
and busy with the baby that she wasn't paying attention. But I feel like this is a drop ball, and it's unfortunate because this is it's an overcast on what would be otherwise a very great show. That's showcasing the thing about Savage Fenty. There's different bodies, different ethnicities, differently abled people. Like, it's a very inclusive brand. Although I will say, remember that time and I tell you about how when I was in London in 2020, they had a Black Friday sale. I was very excited. I purchased all this stuff. I'm waiting months and months and months and months go by. Never received my shipment. I just thought, because at that time, height of the pandemic, nobody's shipping things on time. I call into them, and they said that they canceled my order because I was purchasing something with because when I was in London, it was with a UK IP address, and the shipping was in United States, but they didn't give me my money back until I called them. So, Fenty people, get your shit together, because Ivy Park would never. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, that's fair.
Let's see. All right, Kyrie Irving suspended for the Nets
For 5 games.
Yes.
Without pay.
without pay. So basically what happened last week with the whole Kanye situation, he posted up a picture of a movie. I think it was something like From Hebrews to Jews or something like that. It's a movie that's talks about Black people being the rightful Hebrews or something like that, and allegedly it has very anti-Semitic material. I've never watched it. I never heard of it until I saw the picture. He said he put that out, and then he was in press conferences, saying that he loves everybody and he's not anti-Semitic. Ended up apologizing for agreeing with Kanye and posting up this anti-Semitic movie. And then he allegedly was donating. Well, he and the NBA or the Nets did a joint statement where they said they were going to donate $500,000, I believe, to the ACLU, or like another organization that works with anti-Semitic hate and like pushing against that. They have denied his donation because they said they could not take it with a rightful heart. Although I feel like y'all take his money.
Yeah, take his money and use it for good.
Yeah, take his money. But
I'll take the money. Send the money my way.
And I will. Yeah, I know a lot of Jewish people to help. So
yeah, l'chaim.
This is going to be also added to the barking. No. I didn't
say that I was one of the chosen people.
God, you get my blood pressure up literally every episode.
I just said
every episode
that I know my best friend Sam. He's
you
been
can't
on this podcast.
Okay, we can't do. Well, my friend's Jewish. No. Okay.
But what if my friend actually?
I mean, your best friend.
My best friend literally is Sam. Good on this podcast.
I feel like, please, Sam, can you listen into this part and tell him
us
whether or not
is problematic.
he's allowed to say lahayim in this context? Please and thank you.
I said it as straight as possible. I didn't put extra emphasis or anything on it.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
Kyrie has been suspended.
Yes.
Then you have all these incels and hoteps and foteps trying to boycott the NBA and all this bullshit.
First off, none of these motherfuckers are boycotting shit.
They're not. They didn't even boycott football.
They didn't. Well, first off, they were never gonna boycott football.
Like they said they were boycotting, but they were definitely watching. They went to Super Bowl parties.
They were all hell. I don't even watch football, and even I was watching football. You know what I mean? I've seen as many games as all those people who said that they were boycotting football when Colin Kaepernick was getting blackballed. Okay?
Yeah, it's just. I think that the thing about it is, like we said last week, there's a difference between having facts, because some of the things that people say can be factual.
Yes.
But when you are misusing those facts to add to a certain agenda, it's no longer just facts. It's like now it can turn into anti-whomever speech. And if you are not learned enough to be able to discern between that, just shut up. The other day, I was walking down Flatbush, and there's that Ankara store where they have those different things. I was talking to the owner, very nice, and we ended up talking about Kanye.
Why were you in the store?
They were selling Ankara stuff. I wanted to see if they had anything for Black Panther.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And so we ended up talking about Kanye and all this stuff, and I just said, I don't want to hear any more celebrities or any famous people talking about subjects that they are not experts in.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you have a lived experience that you could talk about. That's fine. But so many things that you hear people, like the rhetoric people are shouting out, are just things that are like urban legends in the community. They're talking about them, but they don't really have the facts.
And shit.
And so it makes it's a very disingenuous historical context for you to say things and not have real information to back it up. Because if you haven't read the books and the journals and any of the peer-reviewed studies, et cetera, what you're saying, it's not credible to me. And all you're doing is causing more division, more issues, more heartache than there needs to be. It's a very simple thing. Yes, there are Jewish people who could be anti-Black. Yes, there are Black people who can be anti-Semitic. There's all of these things are possible. And all I want people to do your reading. Go ask a scholar. Find a scholar, a real one, like not Dr. Umar or Tariq Nasheed. Find a real scholar who has some PhD in something. Ask them a question, because they will tell you. But people who have written papers, they will gladly, if you email them, say, hey, your paper that I saw in JSTOR I can't afford it. Do you mind if I have a PDF? They'll send it to you because they want people to read their research. Like, stop looking on your Facebook feed and your Twitter feed and all these people who have literally spent 0 times researching anything and getting your news. Because all it does is now you've had to pay $500,000 to donate, and they don't even want it because now you look stupid. It's just, it's too much.
You heard that Kanye has an interest in Hitler, right?
Yes. I saw that he allegedly signed, people had to sign many NDAs, and he's had to send many people, what are those things? Settlements.
Settlements, yeah.
And so it's like, that's the person you're listening to.
Yeah.
The person who says he doesn't read. And anyone who tries to tell me, he was just trying to get out of his contracts. No. No one's trying to be less of a billionaire once they get there. Because they don't want to pay taxes already because they don't want to be less than billionaires. Yeah. So why would you want to not? You're going to try to sneak your way out of contracts and then get kicked out of Skechers because come on. No. First of all, also, no one buys Skechers.
That's what his next album's going to be called.
Sneaking out of Skechers?
No. Mind Beautiful Twisted Fantasy.
I'm kicking you off. You're going in a timeout.
I've been sitting on that for a little bit.
I know you have. I know. That's why you brought Kanye up.
Yeah, that is exactly the reason. Hey, at least it was a good segue. We're talking about the same topic. Are we not? Are we not talking about the same interesting topic?
We're moving on.
I don't know if it's interesting, but it is tangential to what we've been discussing.
We gotta hurry up because we have a few more moments before the live finishes.
Yeah.
Now this is the thing we're gonna talk about.
Yes.
1. Fuck you, Tiffany Haddish, because now Tuka and Birdie has been canceled.
Actually, it turns out Tuka and Birdie got canceled because of the gutting of animation from Warner Brothers due to the Discovery.
But I'm sure that Tiffany Haddish's scandal played a part.
Fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
Okay?
I'm sure it didn't help.
It didn't help.
I'm sure it didn't help.
And also, fuck them for gutting all the animation because that was a really good one. Wait, did Inside Job also get canceled?
It's coming out with another season, but there's no word on if it'll have a third.
But what's the other one that I was liking that got
Close
canceled?
Enough.
Close Enough. And then what was the one that you started watching that I wanted to start from the beginning?
Infinity Train.
Yes. Fuck y'all for deleting all this good adult animation that we
really
need in our lives.
All these good series.
It's ridiculous.
And they canceled Westworld. after
and
the
I
fourth
had just
season.
started getting into it with you watching it. I was
Yeah.
enjoying it.
Yeah, and it leaves off in such a way that like it's not even a satisfying conclusion to
It's
the
not.
entirety of the story. Like,
It was a cliffhanger.
You could clearly tell that they had another season or two's worth of ideas.
I hope
that they
somebody
wanted to
picks it
explore.
up and they can just like keep it going.
Maybe Netflix or something. And then what is this about Criminal Minds?
Criminal Minds, my favorite FBI procedural with serial killers is coming back.
It sounded like you were doing Love and Happiness. It sounded like you were like,
Well, I mean, I will have Love and Happiness if my boo Spencer Reed is back on the show because I love him, Matthew Grubler. You know I love my shows where
Yeah.
the FBI
You won't
is
fucking
finding.
stop. Yeah, I know. All this X-File bullshit
First
that
of
you...
all, X-Files
listen
is
to.
an amazing program.
No, she got me watching this episode of X-Files with some fucking mongoloids beating the shit out of this black detective and his wife. That shit was disturbing as hell. They're driving around listening to 1940s music, and then like they're fucking hillbillies, and they got their mom underneath the bed, like fucking sawed off all of her fucking legs and arms and shit like
were
that.
having sex
They were
with her.
fucking her and shit like that.
It was
Like
disturbing.
It was so and this is in the 90s. This was going on
But
in the
the
90s after The
X-Files
Simpsons.
was so good. And I'm glad that I could rewatch the episodes now because I'm far less afraid than when I was a kid.
Fucking, I'm watching this shit. And I'm just like, what does this have to do with aliens? I thought this was an alien
It's
show.
not just aliens. It's every
Sometimes
weird, creepy
there's
thing.
chupacabras in there and shit like
There
that.
are. Remember that one with the little black little leeches that were inside people's bodies? I'm always looking.
People coughing up black goo out of their asses and shit like that. Yeah, fall into tables.
They were just humping each other.
They were not
They were
humping
humping
each other.
And okay, but now after Criminal Minds, I'm very excited for this Black Panther soundtrack.
Yes, it's already out.
It came out today.
Yes.
We should listen to it after this.
Yes, I agree. It depends on how late we're gonna stay up.
That's
because I'll ask you this off mic.
Okay. Yes. So looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
And Rihanna has a new song on it. I liked it. The interwebs were kind of on the fence. I think because most people were expecting like, work, and you can't work. You can't do that to this song. But its song is specifically for like I think the funeral, so you wouldn't be able to dance to it anyway.
Can I level with you about something? I am a little bit afraid of going to see the Black Panther movie.
Why?
Like, I know they're going to do a great job with the follow-up to Black Panther, the first movie.
Yeah.
My fear is that I'm going to be so overwhelmed with grief at the loss of Chadwick Boseman
R.I.P.
that I'm not going to be able to properly appreciate the movie as it stands by itself.
Well, I think we are probably just gonna have to see it more than once.
I'll probably have to see it more
because
than
the first time I'm going to be crying. I'm going to be weeping.
This is going to be the first Disney Marvel movie that's going to probably take 6 months to go on Disney Plus. Because it's like every 2 or 3 months now. This one I think is going to be out for a long time.
The Thor one came out really quick.
Yeah.
Maybe because nobody saw it.
Yeah.
But this one I'm going to be weeping because the thing is not that he just died in the movie. It's that he's died in real life.
Yeah.
And it's just like such a poignant, beautiful person inside and out. We've not heard anything negative about this man from the time he was at all the stories I hear from people who knew him when he was at Howard to knowing him in Hollywood. Like, it was just that he was a great man who loved his family, loved his friends, did the best he could for his community.
He just kept his head down and did the work and put in all these portrayals.
I remember watching him at the during commencement and just like being like, yes, I'm charged up. Like, he's just amazing, and just, it's going to be both a joyous time to honor him, and this is going to be like the time that we get to have the funeral with him and everybody else who loved him. And I think that we just have to prepare ourselves emotionally.
Yes.
Because we're going to be sad. And just recognize that, thank God for Chadwick Boseman. That he added some joy to our life. He kicked off the new black superhero, like something that we could all look to with this beautiful black cast of people. And I'm just grateful for what he did for, and even though it's like, yeah, like he was, someone chose him, but like he embodied this role and he took it and he ran with it and made it into something just like otherworldly.
The first good black superhero movie, because those Blade movies are not
The
that
first
great.
Blade.
They do not hold up.
The first Blade was good.
Those,
And we have to
We'll watch-
respect. We gotta watch it because it's been on our list.
Because yes,
But
well,
Blade, we have to put respect on Wesley Snipes'
Blade.
name.
You know what it is?
'Cause he
Blade is
cut
a lot.
through-
Blade is a lot like the first Spider-Man movie.
Yes. Okay.
In that it's campy. Like
Okay,
it
so
has
it is.
some camp. It has that
There's fucking
horrible
blood
CGI.
raining down,
Well, I mean, like,
and the
yeah,
vampires are
vampires, yeah.
exploding weird.
Yeah.
That big. Well, remember
But I will
that
say,
big, huge,
I will
like
say,
Boba Fett.
it was still better than Meteor Man.
Oh, but I love Meteor Man.
I love it too.
Wait, what was that one we were watching with? Is that
Blank Man.
Blank Man.
I love
Blank Man.
Yeah, me too.
All right, so y'all, we'll be right back.
We will be right back with more of the Black and Sturdy podcast after this message.
You're listening to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
To take a shot.
We now return to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
Take a shot real
Here's
quick.
to the best podcast in the world. Whew. All right.
Shout out to Eric. Sorry, I'm not saying your whole name because I don't know if you want your whole government out there, but Eric, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a friend. Travel on the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a power and a comforter. I hope you're doing okay in Cali. It's been a long time. Message me after this, and just to say hey. Anyhow, as we always do at this time, I can't. Anyhow, here we go. I will never find another lover sweeter than you, sweeter than you. And I will never find another lover more precious than you, more precious than you. Girl, you are close to me, you're like my mother. Close to me, you're like my father. Close to me, you're like my sister. Close to me, you're like my brother. And you are the only one of my everything. And to you, the song I sing all my life. I pray for someone like you. And I thank God that I without you. And all my life, I pray for someone like you. And I hope that you feel the same way too. Yes, I pray that you do love me too. Can I tell you why the song is sad?
Why?
He goes out of his way to say how much he loves this individual, only to then really hope that she reciprocates.
Yeah, that
is ridiculous.
it's a little sad.
It is a little sad, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Here we go.
All right. So we are in the top. We're going to get into our mental health segment.
Yes.
But before we do, we're going to do our usual questions. All right.
Why are you asking all the questions? asking all the questions. Why are you asking all the questions?
Making statements. Assuming. All right. Have you ever been attracted to a teacher?
Why is this? It keeps starting from the beginning.
But it's not. I've checked it.
Okay.
Do you want me to check it again?
Rashad is back, I think.
Hello, Rashad.
Hello, Rashad. Hello,
Would
Eric.
you like me to check it again?
Yes, real quick, while I answer that question. I feel like we've asked this question before because I have a distinct memory of what's it doing? Okay, I have a distinct memory of being like saying Miss Imes from my middle school. She
But
was
maybe we ask this to like when we do our usual just like game night or something. Might talk about it.
game night. I haven't been in a game night. Can I tell you a little
Side
creep thing?
Yes.
Like maybe a couple weeks ago. what I did was I changed my name on game night as a guest. And I just popped in without my camera. I just popped in without my camera or my audio. I popped in to see what was going on. And they looked like they were having a good time.
Well, okay. We should join another one. It's fun. It's family game night. Okay. So you finished your question?
Yeah.
Your phone just being weird. No, it didn't.
Live ended. It says that live ended.
I don't know what's going on.
Anyhow, so now live again.
Yeah, but I don't know why. Let me put my Wi-Fi on this whole time.
Wait, Odie,
I thought it was on.
why wouldn't your Wi-Fi just be on?
I thought it was on. Okay. We're paused due to poor connection. We're back on. Let's go.
Oh my God.
My head right round, like a record, baby, right round, round. Are you ready?
Odie, sometimes
What?
I wonder about you.
Why I'm so amazing?
No,
Perfect?
it's definitely
A joy to be around?
It's definitely an adjective, but that is not it at all. Have you ever been attracted to a teacher?
Yes.
Well, actually, time out. Because I thought about this. So many of the people our age are just teachers. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So technically, I've been attracted to a lot of teachers.
But teachers that were your teachers.
Okay. All right. Well, then my teacher's Miss Imes. So shout out to Miss Imes. I'm not sure if she's still doing it.
I would say, okay.
Lord knows I wouldn't.
In high school,
I'd give up.
we all had a crush on Derek, our senior year Bible teacher, and
He was the Bible
teacher and also choir director. He's on Broadway. He was actually working as he was on Lion King as Mufasa for a while, and I feel like he's been doing like Phantom of the Opera or something recently. Shout out to you, Derek. But then in college, I had a super big crush on my journalism professor, Ron Nixon.
We've talked about this because you've talked about.
Yeah, because he was with the New York Times.
Ron Nixon.
And I just thought he was so cute, he used to wear like
I
a
made
little.
the same joke that I want to make now.
What was it?
Ron Dixon.
Okay. He used to wear like a little hat. And it was just like, he had his hat. He was alpha. He just had like BD.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was just like, you know what? I get that whole like.
Ron Dixon.
Okay. I got the fact that like, like the whole being like enamored with your teacher because he's so smart. And
Yes.
Like he just was super cute. Like, loved him. So yeah. But you know what? This is a mental health question. Why is that the do-it-yourself therapy question?
I think that is a pretty good question to ask somebody when it comes to self-care.
All right, I guess.
Are you taking care of yourself by,
fapping off to your teacher?
I was going to say doodling your teacher's name plus your name with little hearts around it in your journal. But no, first off, this is No Nut November. We are steep in No Nut November.
So you want to know what's something funny? Today I saw somebody, she's like a doctor or something. She tweeted out, maybe it was last year, that like No Nut November, like the whole premise behind it is stupid because it really has no scientific background. And this older lady responded and was like, "Are cashews okay?"
Oh, that's cute.
It was very cute.
That's
very cute.
And also a little sad.
But I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Okay, but now we're gonna. I don't know which drop it is, so
that's a really good question.
You don't know your drops, my friend?
You know what?
I'm just saying, you love them so much, you would think you'd have them at the ready.
This is our mental health section. Of course, we are mental health
Advocates,
not experts, and we check in with each other to make sure that we're, getting the most out of our therapy sessions, getting the most out of our self-care, doing our due diligence, because we feel that mental health is very important on this podcast.
It is.
And if you are lucky enough to check out a therapist,
therapy for black girls, therapy for black men. There's so many
therapy
sites.
for black girls, therapy for black men. There's also
the Loveland Foundation. Sometimes you pay for it.
Yes. So there are a lot of resources for therapy. We want to at least remove the stigma within the black community.
Yes. It's very accessible.
It's an accessible thing.
I have 2 black therapists, and they're black as fuck.
Yeah, they're black as fuck. They're loud as fuck because sometimes you take your therapy in my apartment, and I don't be trying to overhear, but sometimes I overhear. So I don't be listening. I'm just like, but like there's a whole room
I can hear you
in between my room. So
I can hear you talking. Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't try to. I'm like,
I try to keep my voice low.
You can't.
Because sometimes I'm just be like this week she just destroyed the last limit that I had on my patience. And I'm just gonna snap eventually. And
for all the joy that I bring you.
Sure. Let's call it that. Let's call it joy.
Okay, so how have you been this week? Because this has been is this your second, third week without therapy?
Yes. So this is like my second and third. It's been tough. And it's been. Thanks. I have a drop. It's been. So it's been a little bit rough. I'm off my medication right now because
wait, you had them calling in. What happened? It's still not there?
It's not there.
What the fuck is going on with it? You called it in a week ago. More than a week ago.
I know.
And what the hell, UPS or USPS? Where are people's packages?
Yeah.
With important things inside of them.
I'm actually
your tracking numbers don't work.
Tracking number doesn't work.
It's been more than a week. DC is not far from New York. It should only take about 3 days max to get something.
I'm about to reach out to one of my I'm not going to say their name, but they are a good friend that actually helped to facilitate getting my lost item and then having it shipped back to me. I'm just going to check in with them to see, hey, like, are you sure you shipped it off?
They shipped it. They got to give you a tracking number.
They didn't scan it. There's no scanning going on. And, I'm afraid it might be lost.
No.
Either because like they wouldn't they I wonder if it's still at that post office.
I mean, it's DC, so you never really know.
Yeah, so I
wouldn't be surprised if it was.
I might have to get my friend to go down to that post office and be like, "Hey,
sorry if you have to do that."
Yeah, sorry if you have to do that. But and again, it's not their fault. It's my fault for leaving.
It's nobody's fault. It was an accident. It was an accident. You tried to rectify it as best as you could. And for whatever reason, the stupid DC Postal Service is not working as it should. Just like everything else in DC. So.
Yeah. Vote next week.
Yes. Vote or die. Because Trump is trying to come back.
Shit. So. I have trainings all day on Tuesday.
But it's fine.
I'll have to figure it out. I have to figure out how I can actually. Oh man.
Voting doesn't close until late until the evening.
I know.
And it starts
I know.
early in the morning.
I know.
You're up at 5 a.m.
I have to.
You are.
Yes, I am. Don't tell the world about my fucking sleeping habits.
You wake up early.
I'm an early riser. They don't need to know that though.
Okay.
Because then they're like, well, why isn't the podcast out on time? You record on Fridays. Why are you just putting a bulk of them out all at once? Why is it jump from like episode 39 to episode 44 in one day?
Sometimes people are busy. Okay? It happens.
What am I?
Okay, but no. What?
Busy
How is your?
Being sleep.
You haven't been on your mental. You haven't been on your pills.
I haven't been on my meds. Luckily, I haven't had any issues when it comes to like my blue period.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, that hasn't come up, and I will say, I did feel a bit of mania come on, but I think I've weathered that fairly well. It's just a matter of mitigating it.
Yeah.
Certain tools that I have to mitigate that shit. So,
and I think you've been working out,
and exercising is helpful.
And that's
exercising
helpful.
has been helpful.
Even though my body's sore.
Yeah, my body is
Working out is definitely good for mental health.
Oof, I was about to sing a song, and that's gonna be in my
Gripes.
But yeah. Overall, I've been fine. I haven't needed to go to my therapist because she said I can go to her anytime. I've been weathering my mood and like everything like that. I would say I wonder if that's why I've been so sleepy, but that's just me. That's just who I am.
Sleepy.
Yeah, I'm a ant in the wintertime, baby. From that story of the ant and the grasshopper.
Okay.
I'm actually not sure if that makes sense.
I honestly cannot remember the ant and the grasshopper story, so I'm just taking you at your word.
I think all right, the grasshopper plays around all summer, and the ant
builds its
builds its
nest,
nest and gathers all the food and shit like that. And yeah. So that's me. I'm fine. I am fine. I am weathering 2 major things, and hopefully I can get my medication soon. Hopefully I'll be in a better position in not too long of a time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe you will.
Thank you. How have you been, my dear?
I think I've been good. I feel like I've been a pretty even keel. Still searching for a psychiatrist so I can get meds. I am kind of worried though because like Adderall and some other ADHD medicines
I heard
are on super back order because I was listening recently to I think it was a Pop Smoke song, and he was talking about okay. He was talking about Adderall.
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
And I was just kind of pissed off because I remember I told you I was reading that book, Attention, a Love Story. And she's talking, this is basically this author who she's a writer. She was like getting out this Adderall and misusing it. And it just makes me really angry that so many people who do not need Adderall use it for the funsies. And then when I go and I need medication, I have these fucking doctors accusing me of being some sort of addict when I can barely remember to take the shit when I have it in front of me.
Yeah, you're
I'm very bad. I'm so bad at taking pills on a regular. Hence why, TMI, I have an IUD. Because I can never remember to take medicines. And I didn't want to, I can't chance certain things. So I had to make sure that I was going to be secured. And if they could put a Adderall IUD in me, that would be great. Like, can we figure that out? We're making drones everywhere. How about we figure out a way to insert the medicine in my body so I don't have to remember to take it, and then also you gotta call them and like refill it every 3 months.
Sorry, I misunderstood what you meant because no, at first my response was gonna be, what does that have to do with you taking medicine, just being careless with your vagina?
God.
But then I was like,
Jesus Christ.
that it's not a UTI.
Jesus Christ. No, I've actually never had one of those. And they're very actually easy to get. If you remember that episode of
Big Mouth?
Big Mouth?
Yeah.
You wear your sweatpants and leggings too long. You go to sleep with underwear on. You there's a lot of things that can throw your pH off. What?
Is it a lot of things that throw your pH?
Yes.
Damn, it is tough being a woman.
Vaginas are very sensitive.
Why didn't I get my pen during the break? Damn it.
I don't know why you didn't. Sorry.
It is tough being a woman.
Vaginas
and
are very
that's
sensitive.
the name of this episode. I guarantee you it's not going to be the name of the episode once I upload it onto the podcast.
Please write in if you remember the name that he says and what the name is actually titled. Okay.
Eric O, please. I know you're not here anymore, but you were here at one point. Please remind me, bro.
So how have I been? I had a really good therapy session yesterday. And we were talking about trust and how
many of us have it?
And
Trust.
I recognize that I have had historically lots of trust issues. And it's it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's my family, my friends, romantic partners, people telling me how they feel is something that I just do not believe them. And I think that on one part of that I was talking to my therapist about was I am a very observant person. So I see how people treat others, and how they treat others is how I think they're going to treat me. And so
interesting.
When I see people lying to other people, when they leave, talking bad about them and stuff like that, even if they would not do that to me, it's harder for me to trust that when they say, yes, I like you, yes, I love you, that I would believe that they would also be able to think that about me, because I'm very observant of other people. And so when I see that their actions don't line up with others, in my head, I'm well, obviously when I leave, there must be some things that are going on. And there's not one thing that has caused that, but we did touch on, I'm not going to say it obviously on here, but there was one thing we touched on that was very pinnacle in my adolescence that definitely eroded the trust that I have for people, and kind of the fear of if the people who you are expected to trust don't feel trustworthy, then really who can you trust? And then adding on just layers of quote unquote evidence, of friends being shitty, partners being shitty, even sometimes family being shitty, that now, even though I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt, that there's something in the back of my mind that says no. And I'm grateful for this is why I love my black ass therapist. Because I jokingly tell her she reads me when most times we're in sessions.
And she does, apparently.
She does.
You gotta stop putting your therapist on speakerphone.
Well,
because she's just as loud as you are. And I'm in a whole different. There's a whole foyer between the room that I'm in and the room that you're in.
Kitchen.
Yeah, and meanwhile I'm over here just I'm just trying to watch Big Mouth, and all I hear is just stuff that I'm not going to repeat on this podcast because, it's a privilege.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. But I realized that I have been working on my trust, working on the trust of myself, and just believing what I feel and believing working on believing what others say to me, and not taking this quote unquote evidence that I have as fact.
Yes.
Even though I feel with my ADHD, one, I need a lot of clarity all the time. I always want clarity, and then also not taking the things that I see and like recognize of other people as fact, and especially as how they're going to impact me.
Right.
Because I think that even with some of my, like, the people that are like the closest to me, I have struggled with, like, does this person actually really like me? Does this person actually really love me? Even though, like, I know, like, they should, but those feelings of being distrusting that they're going to keep that love for me and those feelings, even if sometimes I'm at my worst, or maybe I might be annoying them or obnoxious or whatever. And those are things that I've thought about, and those are like, it's like an amalgamation of different traumas. It's friend trauma, it's family trauma, it's partner trauma that has just like rained on my parade a little bit. And as joyous as I feel like I am on a regular basis, and as much, like, I feel like I put out so much love into the world because I have felt what it's like to be on the opposite side of that. And I don't want anyone in my life to ever feel unsafe, unloved, uncared for, like, in my presence. And also, like, always trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, because I feel like I haven't gotten the benefit of the doubt. And I'm grateful for therapy, for all the lessons that it's teaching me, and the thing that it's uncovering that I may not have realized, because I think that those things that I didn't realize were causing some forms of, like, self-sabotage.
Yes.
In different ways. And so, like, for me, like, I'm just trying to thrive, okay? I'm in my thriving 30s. I want to thrive in every way, in every part of my life. And I'm grateful to have therapy to help me figure out the things that I have been missing or have been overlooking or maybe overthinking, so that I can be my best self and be the best self and for the other people around me. And I saw something very interesting today that someone said, and they were like, the way to help others be better is for you to be better, because you can be the model for them.
Yes.
And that's what I want to be. Like, I want to be the model for other people, whether it's my family, my friends, people who just see me as, like, it doesn't matter what you've gone through, what's happened. You can always come out of it on the other side, be better, and, like, figure out a way to help others through their crisis, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that this week has been both there's been a lot of emotional labor that I've been doing, but also that emotional labor is,
I imagine that's what, like,
is helpful.
I was not in the room when my nephew was born,
the room where it happens,
but I gotta imagine she
happens.
said no brothers and sisters.
Yeah, my
Never.
sister has said, I don't want anybody close anywhere when Kata comes home. I'm just trying to be stress-free, because you just had something come out of your body, like a whole alien.
Oh yeah, no. My sister was just like, no, I don't want any more of this ever again. Like,
Oh, well, yes. I mean,
like,
listen, birthing is traumatic.
yes, it is.
It's a traumatic experience. In the Bible, I forgot now, and I'm not going to quote you where it is.
Oh Lord.
But in the Bible, I forgot where it says that, like, it's like comparing a woman giving to birth is like dying, like, so many times, because it's just such a transformative, traumatic, joyful, beautiful experience that, like, you can't. Labor is one of those things that, like, if you've gone through it, you get 5 stars in my book, because going through that is just, whether it's a natural birth or a C-section, it is something just inexplainable. And the times when I will be talking to my sister, and she'll be talking to me about, like, different, like, symptoms of pregnancy, I'm like, wow, if you give birth, you should be guaranteed $1,000 a week.
Right.
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
Because the thing for life, at least until your child's 21, like that should be your child support for creating a life, because it's no joke. Like it's everything that I've learned from my friends who've given birth to now my sister, like that being the closest person to me who like recently giving birth. It's just like, it's a lot. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of stress. There's a lot of things going on in your body that you deserve to have like a weekly allotment of like, this is something I'm going to take care of myself because an alien just came out of my body. I grew an alien and shot it out of my body.
Which is why Odie said at first, we need a Logan's Run scenario where if you turn 65, then that's it. You are hunted down and you are excommunicated from the community so that we can pay these women to give birth to people. Pay them $1,000. Where's that money going to come from? Social Security. How are we going to be able to pay it from Social Security? We got to get rid of all the people who are collecting Social Security. 65, y'all get sent to an island where you have to fend for yourselves in a Lord of the Flies scenario.
Number one, women are not only people who have babies.
Sorry. Individuals who have babies.
Number two,
I should say.
I
Individuals
am
who have
not
babies.
co-signing whatever this Hunger Games bullshit is. I've always heard of Logan's Run, but I've never watched it. Is it a book or a movie?
It is. I know it is a movie. I know it as a movie. It might be a book too.
Okay, well, no Logan's Run scenarios, please, and thank you.
Actually, it actually might be a pretty good idea
What
to
was
do
the
a
name
Logan's
of?
Run.
Wait, but what was the name of that movie? Oh, was it Devil's? The Devil Takes a Holiday, where there's like at a certain time. It wasn't Logan's Run because this movie came out. I think it might have been black and white, where they have after a certain age you die. It wasn't Logan's Run.
That's Logan's Run.
No, there's another one, but it wasn't Logan's Run because it was black and white.
Oh, well. Okay, I don't know
I don't
this
know.
black and
Listeners,
white bullshit.
Send us the name of this movie. We're gonna look for it.
Hey, listeners. Do some homework for us.
Do some homework for us. Okay, so are you ready to go into our next segment?
For sure. Here we go. And this is Gripes right here.
Bringing it. What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
All right.
I went first last time.
You went first last time. Okay. My gripes. Number one. TMZ on your fucking disgusting clickbait bullshit. There's no reason that anybody, anywhere outside of an investigative detective should see videos or pictures of someone in their last moments being taken away.
Twitter as well.
Like but the thing is, they didn't get. Maybe some of those people got it from
Twitter.
like whatever. But like TMZ posting it, like, where is the journalistic integrity?
Twitter definitely was all over Twitter.
There's no reason that I should have ever seen one Kobe Bryant and Gigi's last moments in the air and crashed on. Like I had nightmares for weeks about that, and I even had to talk to my therapist because it was giving me so much anxiety. Going to TMZ, reading about Takeoff being shot, and seeing the pictures of Quavo dragging him to the side, trying to like help him, and then they had the videos out. There's no reason for it. I am not a detective. I'm not going to be able to look at those videos and give you any other information. And it is, I feel like, inhumane to see people being murdered, especially seeing black people being murdered, and that being like a source of entertainment news. There's never a reason for it. It is feels very dystopian to constantly see death as if it's just like a breaking news story and like, here's a new flash, let me show you someone's last moments. It's not needed.
I had woken up early to Takeoff videos of him, like I guess immediately after he got shot, of just his lifeless body on the ground, Quavo in the background screaming. Like, I saw that.
I'm so glad I didn't watch that video. It's horrible.
It was all over my timeline. It was not my timeline. It was all over the algorithm that was provided to me, and it was disturbing, and it was upsetting, and it fucked me up.
And I feel like in some ways, like when I was younger, my mom didn't let us watch movies like Jason or Friday and any of those things, because she was like, seeing people murdered is not normal, and I don't want you to be desensitized by that. Seeing people, like, there's a difference between seeing someone murdered and seeing a dead body. Death is a natural thing. It happens. Like, you go to funerals, you see the dead body, okay. But seeing someone in their last moments is not something that any of us need to be privy to. That is a private thing. If you're detectives, sure. But there's not, me watching that, I'm not helping the case. All I'm doing is traumatizing myself, or even worse, desensitizing myself to death. And there is something to say about the desensitization, or I didn't pronounce it.
Desensitization.
Thank you. Of seeing black bodies murdered. And with, like, now there are plenty of people who might see that and be sad, but then there are people who are going to see that and make jokes and make it into a meme or make it into anything else, because we all handle people's deaths differently. And when you're looking at something through a screen, it removes sometimes the humanity from it, which is why people can be so nasty and disgusting to each other online, because you're not seeing each other as a person. It's a commodity, or it's just like, oh, that's funny, like it's a movie. Someone's death is not entertainment. There's no need for it. I'm sick of seeing it, and I just wish that TMZ would be so bankrupt by the different families they've caused harm to that we would have them no longer, because there's no journalistic integrity there, and it's disgusting to see constantly. Also, now I don't have her name because I can't get it on my computer, but do you remember the OnlyFans model, the white OnlyFans model who had
Rachel Dolezal? Sorry, because she's also on OnlyFans.
No, and I'm very glad that I've never seen.
And I'm glad that I have not
about that
made any purchases to that.
No, this is the white model from Florida who was dating or in a relationship with a Nigerian American who she shot and killed. And it was, they were trying to say it was a domestic violence situation.
I remember that story.
So audio came out recently from his family's lawyer where it's a recording of them arguing because he saw, apparently they were on a bike ride. He saw some woman, the woman saw them, said hello to him. She's angry about that. So she's cursing him out for whatever reason. And then she calls him a nigger. And it just infuriated me again, the way that white privilege can just allow you to get away with so much. Because the case is still ongoing. She hasn't. I want to say she might still be like in holding, because they had arrested her, but like we have not gotten any real charges. And if it was reversed, I cannot imagine a black man murdering his white girlfriend and being this still to this day, months and months after. There's no charges really filed. They're not like on death row, and it's like so many people were like, oh, and this is unfortunately black people were like, we don't care because he said he didn't like black women anyway. And it's like, unfortunately, we have to continue having these traumatic experiences to people who were doing nothing but minding their own business. And maybe they might have been misinformed and had some anti-blackness. Like, that's unfortunately something that black people around the diaspora have to deal with. But the fact that this woman was allowed to kill him, go back to her regular life, and it was only social media that made it like a thing for them to arrest her and get all these different things out. And she's still just like claiming innocence, and it's just like whatever, when she was clearly racist. Because there's like the fact, and this is for everyone who's in an interracial relationship. Doesn't matter if it's a white and a black person, a white and an Asian person, a white and a Hispanic person. Like, if you are going to be with somebody from another culture, there would be never a time that I could imagine calling somebody like the worst thing that you could say to them and be like, oh, but I love you.
Yeah.
And I feel like so often that happens. I've seen it plenty of times where white women will want to have a mixed baby of any kind, but have no desire to unlearn any of the white supremacist bullshit that they have co-opted throughout their life. And then they have children and end up fucking them up because they never took the time or deigned to think of themselves as anything besides this privileged white person. And now they're just like ruining other people's lives. And it's very frustrating.
Yes, it is.
And I need everyone to do better. I feel like this has been a very trying week.
It has.
It's been very trying. I want black people to stop listening to stupid idiots who are misinformed. I want white people to just do better in general. Go take a class, something. And like, just everybody. Just do better. That's it.
Do better.
Do better. Okay. What about you? What's going on?
So, without any context, all I'm going to say is this. If you are at a party and you have not properly sanitized your hands, please don't handle the snacks. I'm going to leave that as it is.
Yes, I agree.
With no additional context.
I agree.
And additionally, it is very upsetting at a party to have R. Kelly playing.
Oh, God.
We were recently at a party, and then a block of R. Kelly music was playing.
Ugh.
To which one of, and this was a black party. This was a party with black people, obviously, because I don't think white people or younger generations give a fuck about R. Kelly. One of the patrons of the party was like, he is such a genius. He's fucked up, but he's a genius. And it made me feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
I had to go to the other room.
Yep.
Because I was getting sucked into, it was one of my, obviously before he was revealed to be a monster, but it was one of my favorite R. Kelly songs that played. I'm not going to sing it
and
now.
The problem is R. Kelly's songs are lyrically and the sound are really good songs.
Myself starting to sing it reluctantly. Like I remember you were there, and could you tell that I was reluctant singing? I was like,
because it's like there's the same way like how I feel about Kanye right now. Sometimes like it's not that the songs are not good. It's not that they don't have a great melody, a great beat, all the lyrics are good. But like the issues behind the music.
There are certain artists that you can't divorce the music from the art.
Yeah. It's very difficult.
It is extremely difficult. And in R. Kelly's case, I absolutely, after finding out what he has done and watching all the documentaries, and in fact, a lot of those documentaries are just like, apparently some of those songs were just straight up inspired by some of the heinous acts that he was doing.
Yeah.
And you could hear it in his lyrics. It's upsetting.
Yeah.
It is an upsetting thing.
And it throws you off your enjoyment of a party.
So, organizers,
Please.
DJs.
Please.
There's actually a really good article that I was reading. It might have been on Vulture, where they were discussing how DJs feel about playing Kanye West. And they were saying a lot of DJs have moved themselves, have pushed themselves away from playing any stuff.
I mean, we've talked about this
Kanye.
before. What Kanye songs have DJs really been playing?
Well, at like 2000s parties.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Like maybe at
okay.
like a 2000s party.
Yeah.
But like right now, like there's not, nobody's going back to Gold Digger. Nobody's going back to Power or Monster or like I'll sooner play Big Pimpin', and that song is misogynist as shit.
Yeah.
Gonna play with the dick in the truck.
I mean, but nobody's an abuser on that song.
Nobody is an abuser on that song.
I'll take it.
Apparently, they're just abusing Jay-Z's dick in the truck. Don't play with the dick in the truck. That's always my favorite line.
Ugh. I know it is. Okay. Well, is that all that's making you angry this week?
That was very disrespectful how you handled those Doritos, sir.
Very. I don't even want to touch a bag of Doritos.
I'm not getting into it.
I don't want to touch a bag of Doritos after seeing what I saw.
I just saw a gentleman handling Doritos while I know that his hands were disgustingly dirty, and it just upset me.
Yuck.
It was an upsetting sight to see.
But you know what? He was the Riddler,
So he was just doing an act of social terrorism. Yes.
All right, so now that we've finished what makes us angry, get to our favorite part of the show.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
I love that song.
It's a good song.
So much.
It's a good song. It's a fun song that we found from
Thank you, John
Oliver.
Thank you.
From
Because it's a ridiculous song. I should not enjoy it the way that I do, but God only knows.
It was never meant to be taken as a joke, and yet here we are.
I love it. All right.
I'm a baby merchant.
Oh my, yes. Remember when we were figuring out all the...
Yeah, all of the various... That was... You know what? That was a good day.
That was a good day.
You know what? The day was so much... The fun that I had in that day outlasted the amount of walking that I had to do.
You were a good sport.
Until I reached my limit and said, fuck this. I cannot
but we found
walk
seats.
anymore.
We found seats.
We chilled.
We had the delicious pizza.
It was very delicious. I'm so upset that they don't deliver all the way over here.
But we should go over there and get pizza again. We won't walk. We'll take an Uber or or train or bus.
Better not walk, because
We're not going to walk.
I'm not doing that to my fucking feet.
You should have put your Dr. Scholl's in.
I did have my Dr. Scholl's in. How dare you? They're not built for 5 hours worth of walking.
It was literally an hour.
It was not an hour.
Maybe 2.
It was not. It was a day. We made a fucking day out of it. How dare you?
Walking is good for
An
yourself.
hour. You don't have the concept of time.
I like walking.
I bet you fucking do.
It's enjoyable. You're outside. It's a nice day.
God, it's the worst.
You should be happy that you have legs that move when you want them to.
Okay, Mom. Okay, and
just saying.
there are third world countries out there that don't have milk. Okay, so hooray!
You can walk on legs.
Hooray!
Be grateful.
You become a parent. You become every fucking parent from the
you have
90s.
legs. Be grateful you have legs that can walk. I'm just saying. You look like those. You look like those fish from SpongeBob that were like. That's what you look like.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to it. What are you happy about this week?
as always, I enjoy doing this podcast with you. I enjoy that we got a chance to hit up 2 parties.
Yes, we did. They were both fun.
For Halloween, I was dressed as MF Doom.
I was Sailor Chibusa.
Chibi mini me.
But she also goes by Chibusa.
Sure.
Which makes sense because I'm Odochi, Sailor Chibusa.
Okay. All right. We're going to watch Sailor Moon at some point.
Okay. And then what else?
Fighting evil by moonlight, winning love by daylight, never running from a real fight. There's a one named Sailor Moon. Okay.
Okay.
What else?
Shout out to Samantha McManus, who was the one who introduced me to Sailor Moon in the 3rd grade.
So, this week was actually a more chill week, I would say. So that might be everything that happened in the week that I'm grateful for.
Okay.
I'm grateful. Oh, you know what? I'm grateful for the relaxing, stress-free work week because this next week is going to be a bitch.
It's not. You're ready. You've got it on lock.
We'll see.
You're going to do amazing. All right. Is that it?
Yes.
All right. Things that made me happy this week. Numero uno. Doing this podcast with you. It's always the highlight of my week.
Yes.
Also, our very fun Halloween shenanigans.
Yes.
Love that. Halloween's one of my favorite holidays, so I always love being able to like go out and do stuff.
I will
It's
say
a good holiday.
I will say Halloween is a very fun holiday.
It is.
We were walking on the street. I was in my MF Doom, and someone shouted from the car, "MF Doom!" And I was like, "Oh, thank you."
Exactly.
I was afraid that nobody would get it because I was MF Doom the previous year and went to a very Manhattan party. Like, oh, are you a gladiator? Okay, that's gladiator. And I'm like, why would I have a gladiator on my shirt and be a gladiator? Like, whatever.
you never know.
It's fine.
Okay, and then also, what else? Oh well, okay. This is the number one thing that's making. Well, not number one. But no, this is number one. Number one thing that's making me happy this week is my baby's coming in a week. Boo, boo, boo. We have 1 week till Kata's here. I'm so excited. My baby's coming. So excited. I'm so excited.
We need to get you some lessons.
What kind of lessons?
Rhyming lessons.
I don't need rhyming lessons.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
My baby's coming in a week. I'm very excited.
Here comes my baby. You could have done that.
By this time,
You could also done baby, baby, baby,
No.
baby, baby.
No, would not have been that. I would have not done that.
Cater.
By this time next week, I will have my baby here, and I'm literally bursting with joy. He's gonna be so fucking cute. I can picture his little chocolate head, and I feel like he's gonna look like my baby brother Oni.
Mm-hmm.
I call him baby. He's freaking 21, but whatever. He's gonna be the baby forever. My baby brother with his little when he was born.
He's a
he
rap
was just-
stallion. I've met him multiple times at this point, and boy, oh boy, is he just the
He's so cute.
who, Oni?
He is. He's so cute.
He's not cute.
Cute.
He's not cute. He's a bit of a
He's a scamp.
He's a bit of a scamp. Yeah, that's
He's
what
a
I was saying.
scamp.
I was gonna say ne'er-do-well.
But just thinking of
he's more
like
of a
when
scamp
he
than a
was
ne'er-do-well.
born, his little round chocolate face with all of this mound of curls on top. And that's how I envision my baby coming
Well, it's
out.
probably gonna be bald when he comes
No.
out, right?
Only did had a lot of hair. And so I'm thinking that
It's always
Kate
weird
is gonna
when
have a lot
babies
of hair.
have hair. All right, sorry. Anyhow, continue. Just floating in the.
I feel like
in
Kate
the,
is
in
gonna
the
have a
stomach
lot of hair.
with just like hair and nails coming.
Yeah, they're weird. They're aliens in there. But she has not
Every
had.
time you say aliens, I know you want to break out into alien superstar.
Okay, so she didn't have that much heartburn. Well, she's had heartburn, but maybe she hasn't had so much. So it depends on how much hair. Because apparently, like when people who are having babies have heartburn, it means the babies have a lot of hair. So we'll see. But I just know he's gonna have a little cute, little chocolate round face. Like she just sent me this baby picture of my brother-in-law that I could literally picture his little. I just picture it. I'm so excited. Like my heart is already bursting at the thought of him. And then something that made me also really happy this week. One of my best friends, Tamara, shout out to you, is visiting from California. I haven't seen her in since the last time when I was in California. That was about 2-3 years ago. Very excited to see her. She is definitely like a quintessential part of my adulthood in New York. Mm-hmm. And it's just I'm so like my soul is so full whenever we see each other again.
Where's Tia?
You mean Gerontic? Wait, what did you say?
I said, where's Tia?
Anyway, Tamara, I'm very happy that you're here. I'm so excited to spend time with you. We're gonna have lots of shenanigans. I feel like the tagline of our 20s was me, Gerontic, and Tamara having shenanigans. That was just it. It was just random shenanigans around the city, doing a bunch of strange things, and it was great. So I'm very excited that she's here. And yeah, I feel like that's all the things that have been making me happy.
All right. Well, that's everything. If that's everything, then that's everything.
Everything is everything.
So, listeners, thank you once again for joining us for another episode, an installment of this podcast. Viewers, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this, either you're watching this live or watching this after we posted it. We appreciate it. And we will be back for another installment next week. And until then, we say so long, farewell,
Avidas and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorish is Legit. That's Licorish is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's thatsod_THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy Podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.